Ciao amici, I'm Master Leo Spitzeri, and today I've got the king of all appetizers. I don't know, maybe you won't even call it an appetizer. Maybe you call it a little bread for the side. Maybe you're making a beautiful dish of pasta or some meatballs. But the one thing that's for sure, and the one thing that I get so many requests for on the Blackstone network, is my famous garlic knots. And guess what? It's your lucky day, because I'm going to show you step by step how I use my American traditional dough to make the ultimate garlic knot. "35 years, this never gets old." Now, I'm going to start out with this dough. As you can see, this is really cool because when you have a little bit of extra dough left over, sometimes this is the perfect opportunity because this dough has a lot of flavor now. Because all those gases from the yeast, that fermentation, creates this almost, it's not sourdough, but it's got a little more flavor than, let's say, Wonder Bread, right? And that's what we have here. I'm going to take a little bit of flour, and I'm going to start by just putting a little bit of flour so that nothing is sticking. From here, I'm going to get, maybe let's do both of these here. Let's kind of see where we're at. I'm going to put one dough ball right here, and then you can see my technique very gently. I'm just coming around with a little scraper. You can use anything, kind of flat, some kind of flat, straight edge. And the idea is that we're going to come underneath the dough, and that we're not going to disturb the gluten. Now, what I need to do is get a little bit more flour. This is just the same flour that I used inside of the dough. If you haven't seen my dough recipe to make this American traditional dough, here's what's inside of it. I'm going to be using King Arthur bread flour for this one. Make sure you grab yourself a digital scale and tare out the bowl. When you start weighing out all your ingredients, put everything into individual bowls. Go one at a time. Make sure you have 0 on the tare, and then put all the ingredients inside the bowl. Look at that technique right there for putting honey. I like to put a little bit of oil in there first. This way the honey releases. And then I like to stir everything with my fingers. It's the best whisk you got right there. Look at that method. I'm going to stir very slowly, and once you see that half the flour has been incorporated into the water along with the salt and the honey, I'm going to add my yeast, and then just keep stirring with your fingers until you make a paste. Put the last bit of flour in there, continue stirring until you start to feel that gluten is formed. And look at that, I can actually get it to the point where it starts to pull away from the bowl. I add the oil in at the very end, making this beautiful smooth dough. Give it a quick knead on top of the countertop, and then once you have it all kneaded and it's nice and smooth, I'm going to take that dough, cover it with some plastic. This is going to let it rest, and then go ahead, divide your dough balls out. Make sure you weigh them because you want everything consistent. This is my method for rolling dough balls. Make those points, fold them into the center, and then once I have a nice tight dough ball, I pinch it into a change purse from the bottom, and look at that, a perfect dough ball every time. Stick it into one of those Blackstone dough boxes. I like to put 6 in a box, throw a lid on top, stick that in the refrigerator until you need them, and there you go. Now I'm going around and I just dredged each one of these dough balls a little bit. Now this is a ton of flour for what I normally use, and you're right, it is a lot of flour, but you got to remember these dough balls have been sitting inside that box a little bit, and they're a little bit damp underneath. This part underneath the dough is a little damp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by kind of forming a rectangle, not a circle. So if we take my fingers, go from the edges, I can square it off, and then just make a little square, just like this. Let's do it one more time, fast. Make a square, use your fingers all the way to your pinkies, and then just press down, kind of making that dimple, right? Stretch it again, do the same thing, until we have this nice uniform square. So now here's 2 pieces. Okay, what we're gonna do, here's a fancy pizza cutter. I got an awesome message saying, hey, Chef Leo, I've got something really amazing that I want to send you. This is from a lady named Tony, all the way in Ohio. And she actually sent this to me, and I promised her that I would use it in one of these episodes. You can see how beautiful this is, all handmade, and she made this for me, and I wanted to just show it off here. But thank you, Tony, for the wonderful gift. And anybody, just reach out to me on the Blackstone Network, send them a message, and they'll tell you how you can get a hold of me. So what I'm going to do is, with my pizza cutter, I'm going to make strips. I want my strips to be kind of about maybe 1 inch, but these don't have to be perfect, right? They just need to be pretty uniform, I guess, right? And when they go through, you'll see why. Because at the end of the day, making garlic knots is one of those life skills. And when we do this, it's almost like signing an autograph, right? That process of making a garlic knot, everybody does them a little bit differently. But as long as we get to the same finish line, we're all winning. Now, what I need a pan. This is the pan that I'm going to use to make my garlic knots in. With this, I'm going to put probably about, I don't know, enough olive oil about the size of a quarter. And I'm going to use my hand to kind of just get around the base of this. This is going to keep everything from sticking, but we also have this really nice heavy pan here that's non-stick, and we've been using this inside of these high temperature ovens, and it works really great. So I'm going to prepare this pan just like that. Now, a garlic knot, Ethan, come in close, because I'm going to show you this technique up close. We take a strip of dough just like this, and what I do is I take 2 fingers here, I take the dough, I wrap it twice. Once, this little piece here in the end, I keep it kind of here tucked in. Once, twice, and then this here, I go in between my fingers, out the top, and there's a garlic knot, okay? If you want, you could tuck these underneath. Everybody does these a little bit differently. From here, I'm gonna go into my pan. I like to start in the center and then build all around. I should be able to get 12 garlic knots in a pan. So I'm gonna continue going, and then I wanna come back and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna finish these. Knots are all done. I covered them with a little plastic wrap. The next thing I wanna do is I wanna get my sauce ready. I went ahead and I made that all-American pizza sauce, and you can find the recipe for it on the Blackstone network. Once you have the sauce made and prepared, I'm going to use one of these cast iron here. The cast iron is really nice because it'll get really hot really fast, and the whole idea is that this sauce is going to come almost a little more concentrated and pasty, and it'll be awesome for a little dipping sauce, which is the whole point. I'm going to put this to the side. This is ready to go. That'll go into the oven the same time as the knots. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my dressing, if you will, my knot sauce. So the way we're going to do this, I've got a bowl here on the side. I'm going to grab a knife, and I'm going to kind of just, from the side here with a sharp knife, I'm going to kind of shave some of this parsley off the top, right? We don't need a lot, but fresh parsley is definitely part of good garlic knots. I just want to get a little bigger knife, and then I'm going to show you how I chop these up. I got to be careful. This knife here is brand new Blackstone, and CJ actually almost lopped a part of his thumb off with this thing. I just think it has to do not with the knife. He said, oh, the knife was too sharp, bro. I guess, I get it. This is all set here. Actually, what we can do, let me take some of this, and I'm going to put this already inside here. The rest I'm going to put in the front for later. Now, the next thing we need is some good olive oil. I'm going to take some olive oil just like this. And guys, we need a lot of olive oil because you got to remember, with the dozen knots that we're about to make over here, we're going to need a lot of oil and garlic and all that kind of stuff. The raw garlic that's going to go on here, we have people that say, oh, that's too much raw garlic. I think it's one of those things that make garlic knots. They call them garlic knots for a reason, because there's garlic on them, right? But if garlic offends you, it's one of those things like, you know, I want to tone it down a little bit. Go ahead and use roasted garlic instead. It'll be a little softer. Maybe you don't like garlic at all. You just want to make knots, right? That's all piece that you can do on your own. You make the decision. Some garlic over here. I'm going to take the back of my knife. I'm going to give these a little smash. And already they're like disintegrated in these little pieces. You could use garlic powder, but I would rather just say go ahead and use fresh garlic at that point. Garlic powder has its own kind of taste, its own kind of flavor, right? And I don't like that it's like, most of the time it's like yellowish. Right? You know what I'm talking about? So I'm not a big fan of that. But what I do like is, if you are going to use fresh garlic, try to get fresh garlic. If it still has, in Italian, we call it l'anima, the soul, the part that's green, that's in the middle, that starts to grow when it's old garlic, If it has that, try not to use that for a dish like this, that we're using raw garlic. I'm gonna take this just like this, and I'm gonna put this inside of my little dressing that I just made. If you wanna use more, go ahead, use more. I got a little bit of oregano. I could put a little pinch of oregano if we like. Not necessary, but I like oregano in here. We could put a little bit of salt in here. And then the other thing that I wanna do is I wanna put a little bit of Parmesan inside of this. Parmesan we're going to put on at the very end, but I like that the Parmesan, when it's grated on a microplane like this, it's almost like it thickens it a little bit. And then when we pour it on top of the knots, it doesn't just drip oil all over. That residual heat from the garlic knot, it'll kind of like melt all together. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So this is all done. I'm going to get a spoon. I'm just going to give this a quick stir, just like this. And then this is the base for my garlic knots. Now it's time to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to uncover my knots. These are going to go into an oven that's about 500 degrees. Somewhere around 500 should work pretty well. While we're at it, the knots are going in the oven. I'm going to use my other oven to warm up this sauce. We're going to get that going, and they should be done about the same time. All right, so these garlic knots, actually the knots came out gorgeous right now. They're not garlic knots yet because there's one last step that we need to go through. I'm going to get a larger bowl here, and any of you that have ever made a good chicken wing knows this next part of the process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these knots out. They're still hot from being in the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop them out.
Don't put your hand, that knife is sharp.
Yeah, depends who's using it. I'm going to come out just like this. There we go. I'm going to put this on the side because it is hot. So I got my garlic knots here ready to go. You can see underneath how beautiful and nice and golden brown these have gotten on all the sides. The idea is that they'll just pull apart now, and then they're waiting nice and warm for all the rest of this process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this little garlic, parsley, and Parmesan olive oil sauce a little stir over here. And then I'm going to start kind of from the sides, just giving a little bit inside over here. And then I'm going to get the tops. You'll notice that all this extra juice is going to the bottom, which is great because the next thing that I'm going to do is put a glove on, and I'm going to show you how I give these a toss because we're ready for plating. Are you guys ready for eating?
Yeah, boy.
These are pretty simple, right? From here, I got my gloved hand on. I'm going to kind of just give these a little turn in all of this beautiful garlic juice, let's call it. And you'll notice that they're getting very wet, and that's the whole point. A garlic knot should be very juicy, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to arrange these kind of on top here. There's no particular order. I'm just going to make this this nice little ring. All this extra little bit of love down here, I'm just going to kind of toss just like this on the top. Oh, what the heck. Give it a little drizzle. Just
on the edge, bro.
What the heck? Get rid of my glove. I've got this beautiful, concentrated, thickened sauce now. Can you see this? Look at how beautiful this is. Let's go right into this cup, just like this. We've reduced this to the point where there's no more water. Look how nice and thick this is now. Now we can take this little sauce, put this right in the center, kind of arrange these again so they look really pretty for our table. And the last thing I'm going to do, of course, we've got the good Reggiano.
Make it rain, baby.
We're going to make it snow. Look at this. The simplicity of garlic knots is a sum of all its parts. And every part of this dish, as simple as they are, is a superstar. From the dough to the sauce to the Parmigiano Reggiano and the beautiful Italian extra virgin olive oil. These are over the top because we took a little time and love to make this. The only thing left to do is let's go in for that dunk. I love these little crispy ones here in the corner, but the ones that are soft, that have absorbed all of that oil, I'm going to go in just like this. Oh, baby, look at that. I don't know about you, but this looks like a nice snack for me. Ethan, azalod. You saw my tricks. You saw my tips. You saw how easy it was to do. All I did was use this little backyard pizza oven, right? And I made this gorgeous appetizer. I hope you guys do this yourself. Follow me, follow us, Tell us all your successes. We can't wait to hear from you all soon. Ciao, amici.